So I have been feeling like the world is just a sad and scary place lately. So for this video, I just wanted to make something more chill, low-key, and just talk about why I think paying attention to birds, watching birds is a good idea, why I think it's really beneficial, as well as just share some fun bird facts. Some of the reasons that I love paying attention to birds that I think it's really benefited me include, but are not limited to, one, that bird watching is like a hack for mindfulness. I am not one to meditate. I like the idea of it. I'm sure it's great, but I just am not a big meditator. But I will be present and in the moment if I am looking at birds, if I am observing birds. It is one way for me to just pay attention to things in the present moment and not think too much about it. Like it's easy for me to focus on. It also just gets me connecting with the natural world, gets me outside. I love that you can see birds in a ton of different environments. Sometimes they're in stores. Sometimes they are by water, by trees, in fields, in cities. You can see them pretty much anywhere. And once you're kind of more aware of them, you do realize how little we often pay attention to these things around us. It also helps me to appreciate common things more. So I find because I'm more aware of birds now and I'm kind of looking out for them or I'm listening for them, I just have more of an appreciation for how common things can still be really great. They can still have a lot of beauty to them. Like chickadees are one of my favorite birds and they're super cute. I love their sounds. I love how they're so teeny but can still make such loud sounds. Every time I see a chickadee, I'm just happy to see a chickadee. I don't think things have to be uncommon for them to be worth acknowledging, for us to see beauty in them. I also think it is a great way to actually get our eyes looking at different distances. We are so used to looking at short distances. You know, if we're reading, if we're watching things, we're doing things on screens. Myopia is on the rise. Not to say that this will definitely stop myopia or anything like that, but I think it is just a good practice to change the distance that we are looking in, and looking for birds is a really easy way to do that. I also love that it is a low pressure way to learn. So there's so many things that I have learned about birds just through paying attention to them. And you don't even realize certain things that you accumulate, certain knowledge that you accumulate just through experience. But it's a really nice way to learn stuff without the pressure of needing to learn it for a test or anything like that. I also love that it invites curiosity, it invites wonder, because I'm often just how do all the birds know to meet where they are? How are there 20 of the same bird that all know this is the spot? Sometimes they're not making loud sounds or anything to be super obvious that this is the spot, but yet all the birds are yes, this is where we go. How do they know? How do they communicate it? What are they saying to each other? I want to know, but I also kind of love just wondering about these things. I also love that it's kind of a multi-sensory experience where it's something that you can be looking at and you can also be listening for. So it's just nice to kind of invoke both of those senses. I also love that it's free. It is free to observe birds. You do not need to pay any money to just go outside and admire birds. Overall, I think paying attention to birds is just good for our mental health. It's something that gets us out. It's something that gets us away from screens. It's something that gets us present. I encourage you to try taking some bird breaks if you don't already. So for the next part of this video, I am just gonna share some bird facts, no particular order or anything. If you don't know much about birds, maybe this will pique your curiosity and make you see birds a little differently. If you already do know a lot about birds, maybe this will be an interesting one to see what you already knew. So pelicans, I guess, are cooperative, but they're also thieves. So they will sometimes cooperate and they'll gather in wetlands and basically coordinate their swimming so that they drive a school of fish towards the shallows and then they can all scoop up the fish from the shallow water. But they also like to steal from other pelicans. So they will try and steal another pelican's food, and about 1/3 of the time they will actually succeed. And they will also steal regurgitated food that was meant for little babies. So I guess they have no shame. They will steal from babies. Great blue herons can hunt in the day and the night because they have a high percentage of rod type photoreceptors in their eyes, so they have pretty good night vision. And they only weigh 5 to 6 pounds, despite the fact that they're so big because their bones are so hollow. Loons have solid bones, so they are less buoyant and better at diving. And they do have the ability to fly, but they basically need to kind of go like they're on a runway. So they need about 30 yards to a quarter mile, depending on the wind, for flapping their wings and running across the water to get enough speed to lift off and fly. They also can get really stabby with their beaks. There was in 2020 an eagle that was stabbed in the heart by a loon. So an eagle had scooped down to get a baby loon as a little snack, and the parenting loon did not like that and apparently stabbed the eagle in the heart, and the eagle died. Ospreys are one of my favorite birds. They're just, they're so derpy looking, but they're so cute. I don't know. I really like them. They're ugly, but they're so adorable. So they're really good at catching fish. They've done a few studies and they found that about 1 in 4 dives, they can get a fish, sometimes as high as 70%. And the average time that they spend hunting was about 12 minutes. Ospreys' talons are shaped in a way that they can hold a slippery fish head first when they're flying so that it has less wind resistance. So that's kind of neat. So like pelicans, bald eagles are also thieves, but they will often steal from other birds, they'll steal from ospreys often, swooping in, sometimes trying to get sometimes they'll harass an osprey to try and get them to drop the fish, and then the eagle will grab it, or they'll just snatch it out of its talons. And eagles have also been observed just playing with toys, which is pretty cute. Cedar waxwings are another cute one that I really like, and they actually secrete a red waxy secretion from their wings. And they don't know what that wax does, but they secrete it, apparently. Because the cedar waxwings eat so much fruit, they can sometimes get intoxicated or die because they have berries that have fermented. European starlings are not supposed to be in North America at all. They are supposed to be in Europe. But in the early 1890s, there was a group that really wanted all of the birds that Shakespeare wrote about to be in America. Basically, all of the starlings that are in North America now are from this batch of 100 birds that were set loose. And they can mimic other birds, up to 20 different species. That's pretty impressive. So yeah, that's just a few bird facts and a few reasons to pay attention to birds. So let me know what your favorite bird fact is, and if you like birds, do you pay attention to birds? What's your feelings on birds? I'm curious. Yeah, this video was just supposed to be a low pressure, low stress way for me to make something without feeling super drained. So hopefully somebody liked this. Yeah, thanks for joining. Take care. Bye.